What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's Lineman Life. It is hump day, and we are live. It is time to get into it. We got news coming out of the NBA that we're going to talk about here in a moment. Also, as per usual, we will be doing our week 3 predictions on the games coming up this week in the NFL, and we'll take a look at our fantasy rankings. Going into week 3, it is total chaos. Just let me tell you before we even get there. Of course, I'm reserving lineman Uche Waneri. I got my co-hosts here, JB Justin Blaylock, and my other co-hosts, 5 Point Vids and Urinating Tree. Friends of the show, welcome in, everyone. The panel is set. And somebody's selling their squad. So, I haven't really done any real research on this entire situation with the Phoenix Suns, but I have been hearing, just things here, things there about, the situation, the work environment, things of that nature, and a couple of N-bombs that were getting used by the owner, or I guess soon to be former owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. What the hell? How did we get to this point? I mean, what was the lead up to this? Who has a good beat on this? 5 to you or Tree?
Tree's gonna know more about it than me. I just know that he casually used the N-bomb like it wasn't a big deal.
What's up, my ninja?
Well,
No,
they
it
couldn't
wasn't even
actually
like
prove it because it was all hearsay, but it was like 500 interviews. So, yeah, if multiple people are doing it, it's probably a trend. It was also a very hostile work environment. He was yelling at a ton of people all the time. It was very aggressive, misogynistic. There were a lot of just angry issues. Plus, if you have to consider too, Robert Sarver was hated by Suns fans for a long time. He had been notoriously cheap. He was notoriously an asshole. He did not care for the building of the team. Remember, DeAndre Ayton nearly left because they were too cheap to pay him last year. I mean, they were able to bring him back and match the offer that the Pacers brought in, I believe. But there's been a lot of antagonistic mentalities between both Sarver and the team. Like the NBA wasn't going to force him to sell like a Donald Sterling because they couldn't actually prove it. They didn't have it in recording. Yeah. Like they had an actual recording and they realized, oh shit, this guy's terrible. And then anyone who followed the NBA could have told you that like 20 years ago, but whatever. The real thing too is that Sarver really he makes a massive profit on the team. It's probably going to take a little bit for him to sell. He's just at the point where he's got to be hands off. They're thinking it's like, you know what? Sell the team, leave with a little bit of dignity, or we're probably going to throw the hammer on you because the National Basketball Players Association is going down our throats about you. Make your choice.
My thing is, and this rings true, a reputation is earned, and a bad one, you got to earn that one too. Like a good reputation, you got to earn a bad reputation. Nobody, like, you would be shocked if you found out Arthur Blank dropped an N-bomb. Like if one person said it, they'd be like, no, that didn't happen, or you're just crazy. But when 500 people say that he said it, like he must have.
That means that it's a normal thing, right?
Right. When 30 masseuses, a
little too comfortable.
Like
in his office.
I've never been in a business setting where someone has said something. I've heard some crass things. I've heard some real inappropriate things, but they were never like something that would fire somebody. But when you have an owner who's allegedly saying these things, that's awful. Like it shouldn't get out. It shouldn't get out. And number two, like if you have an awful environment, people are not going to cover for you anymore. Like an owner, you're in charge. Yeah. Like it's your responsibility to be you'll never hear anyone talking bad about Mark Cuban ever. Like as an owner, like he's a great owner. He's a good guy, but Sarver, no, people hated his ass. So get him out. The funny thing though, that always cracks me up about these sales, or like, remember Richardson with the Panthers, Donald Sterling, their punishment is selling the team at 4x what they bought.
Which is their punishment is make a profit, take some stress off your life, off your plate.
And they also got gradual profits during the whole thing too. Remember, the NFL, NBA, baseball, they're making the big money now because of the TV contracts.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
They told him either sensitivity training or sell the team. He's like, man,
really twisted my arm here.
It's just unfathomable to think that he would say that, but then again, those people think that they're above the law. Like there's their standard
really
for their life, and then there's what the other people have to, maybe he thought that he was around trusted people when he said it, but still, that don't make it right. Like it makes it even worse. Like who are the people that are not being like, hey, Robert, that's wrong, right? Like you can't say that kind of shit. I
mean, I'm just curious, like what and it does. I guess it doesn't matter what the context was, but I'm wondering, is he like saying it like, gosh dang it, why don't you? Can you hit a 3-point shot? You
alleged,
ninja, or is he saying, hey, Chris, my ninja, what's up? Because I could, it's inappropriate either way, but it's just like. He had to be one crass asshole for people to just literally just go ahead and dry snitch on him immediately. Like, he was saying that a little bit too much. But so he's selling both the teams. But
if you're an asshole and doing that shit though, it's like if you're I mean,
people are going to be waiting to burn you up.
Yeah. And you're cheap. Like
you're cheap. That might be just as offensive.
The Suns had like the worst record over the last decade than any other NBA team in the league. They went through something like 5-6 coaches, constant losing. Like they only got good about a year or two ago.
True.
So that's the whole thing about Sarver too.
Yeah, I might let one go if you're paying me like top of the market. But second,
I might not say nothing if I hear about you saying it.
If you say it to me,
paid what I wanted to get paid. You know what I mean? If I got paid what I wanted, then
I don't believe it. He has to say it to me.
I ain't never heard it come out his mouth.
There is a difference, right? Like if say you have like a longtime friend and he's black and you're in a private setting and you drop the N-bomb like in a friendly way, that's different than how he had allegedly used it.
Yeah, surely this guy's nobody's friend.
I don't think it was used in a friendly, or even so though, if you're in a professional setting, you can't even do that. Even if your best friend walks in and you hug him and your best friend is Method Man, right? right. And you say it like that, like, I don't care. You white, you can't say it.
Doesn't matter. You get the fresh one.
Even Mike McDaniel, even if Mike McDaniel drops it, you're like, I don't know, Mike.
Like, damn.
What's the verdict? Yeah, what's the verdict? You can't even use it in a song, okay? But the song said jigga jig, and then
but it ain't my words. It's the song.
Right. You can't sing. You have to skip that part.
I'm just quoting him.
Yeah, no, you can't just quote someone.
I mean, in a professional setting like that, for an owner, I mean, even if it was a black guy, they're not going to use that. They're not going to say that.
No, not even. MJ is not going to be caught on tape calling using the N-bomb in Charlotte. Like he might, I mean,
in practice, but not in a meeting.
Do y'all remember that clip when Kobe Bryant, who was he calling a BAN for like 20 seconds solid? Do you remember that?
Was that Kwame Brown or was that
Kwame Brown? I think.
No, it was Kobe Bryant calling Kwame Brown a bitch ass and like for a minute, and like I was like, oh man, and it's like on tape, like you can watch it, like someone's saying Dwight Howard.
Word to Kobe.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, it was Dwight Howard. Oh, well, that
DJ says a couple of N-bomb. Donald Sterling, those are rookie numbers. I'm sorry. Sterling was a fucking racist piece of shit.
Like at some point, we're both men. Like you're not gonna sit here and talk to me like that. I don't care who you are. You could be the owner of the team. You could be the star player. Yeah. You kiss in the fade. Like I don't.
You
I mean, either of you are probably decking somebody in the face.
I'll get fired for it. I really don't care.
Yeah, that's worth it to me.
Okay, this is iffy, right? I'm reading this. It says he repeated the N-word when recounting the statements of others. So that is a little iffy, right? Like, so if somebody, if you're saying that, hey, he said this, right? I guess you have to just still
have enough awareness.
That's the thing. It's like
it doesn't give you the right to use it.
That's why they couldn't force him to sell, because once again, it was like he couldn't really confirm it.
Right.
It's just bizarre that if you're recounting what somebody else is saying, like, and the N-word's coming up.
Right.
Why not just be like,
you can see that thing coming a mile away.
Right.
It's at the bottom of the page. You start sweating, like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
What is that?
Okay.
The Key and Peele meme where he's just sitting there, just sweating while he's reading it.
All right, I have a really funny story, but I can't say it because we're obviously on the air, and I don't want to get canceled. Right, and I don't think I would recount this if we were in a bar drinking, right, among us. I can't say how the story is, but apparently my friend who went to NC State, there was this tight end there that every time you said something to him, he was so dumb he would just repeat whatever you said with the N-word attached to the end of it. So he'd be like, it's hot today. He'd be like, hot as hell, and then and that's all he ever said. Like, he was like, how did he got a college degree blows my mind. But like,
get right.
Again, I can't tell the story. Like, it's inappropriate for me to tell you to even say it out loud, and that I have to be aware of that. And the story would be funnier if I would say it, but I can't.
And now he owns Death Row Records.
Right.
and that college graduate was Albert Einstein.
Shoot. It's crazy, man. I mean, it matters where you are, it matters who you're with, but that's just in the casual settings. If you're like in any kind of professional setting, I mean,
it doesn't matter who you're with.
It doesn't matter. Like, I know even sometimes on stream, I accidentally say it when I'm like joking about stuff with JB. We're like going back and forth. I might let it slip out, and I don't think too much of it, but at the same time, I try not to make it a habit because it's, it can feel a little awkward. If I'm like just over here busting N-words around, with you guys on here, y'all are going to kind of be like,
take it easy.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, we can't laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be
So it kind of, and again, for this guy, he's selling both the teams. And my question will be, until this is answered, who's buying the Mercury? I mean, because I know if I'm a prospective buyer, I'm like,
I'll throw my name in the ring.
I just want the Suns.
I got 100. I got 100K for you.
Negative. Right,
like Bezos can take an NBA team.
So the WNBA team loses, $10-20 million a year. Like, me and you could be the owner. It's negative.
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't mean nothing because you'd just be losing money as soon as you got them.
Yeah.
Be in the red.
Like, who's gonna buy the Phoenix Suns? So you have to find a billionaire. They couldn't sell the Coyotes. They had a lot of trouble selling them.
And I think they're listed at 1.8 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
And he bought them for probably what?
400 million, I think.
400 million. So it's going to be a 3.
Yeah, get 4 times.
So you're probably looking at least 2 to sell.
Yeah, maybe if they're trying to get the press, maybe buy off some debt, maybe 1.2. But I don't know if they have any debt.
Yeah,
I guess for him, because he's not being forced to.
Well, it's like, I don't have the offers. The offers aren't there. You're not gonna force me.
Somebody will buy it. It's a great investment, though.
At this point, now it is.
Right,
you're printing money.
Like Warren Buffett should buy them because it's the only business where you can get a multiplier like that on such a huge investment. Like, it's unheard of to buy something in at 1 billion, and in 10 years guaranteed it's going to be 3 billion in 10 years easily.
I mean, that's why these things don't come. That's why they don't go for sale. I mean, unless you're forced out.
Yeah, because they're profitable every year, unless it's like a dog franchise, like like I said, the Phoenix.
Even those make money.
Yeah,
hockey. I don't know about hockey.
Well, the Coyotes, I don't know. They're having issues trying to find a stadium, and they're playing out of a college arena. So,
but possibly, you can always move them. You can always move them.
The NHL has never really wanted to move them.
Yeah, basketball, football, you're gonna be making money. I don't know.
Yeah, basketball, football, you're guaranteed.
Probably baseball. I got to imagine. But
baseball, they have a thing where they share all the revenue. So basically, the Yankees pay the Pirates because
same thing in the NFL. Same thing in the NFL.
Yeah, same thing with the revenue sharing there. But like, so Bob Nutting, who owns the Pirates, he's like one of the richest owners. Even though the team sucks ass and the payroll is only 40 million, he pockets like 20 million profit every year. Like just to be bad. Like he has no incentive to work any harder.
I mean, they can't make you field a good team.
No, unfortunately, they can't.
You're not kicking us out of the league.
Well, right. That's the benefit. That's the reason why sports should have relegation, but they never
Good
will.
work if you can get it. What you need to do is go back in time and have your grandfather start a newspaper like Bob Nutting's dad did.
You know what I mean? Let me get a taste of that good. I just want a taste. Just a taste of it.
I never knew you got up close footage of Jerry Jones.
That's Jerry Jones every Sunday in his office after they lose.
No, that was him after Cincy. Did you see that smile on his face? He's like, yeah.
Hey, you
I
two.
got
All right, so
you two come with me. We're going to the back.
Yeah.
I got a hard on. Can't waste it.
Rick James, bitch.
Rick
James.
Oh man!
Right,
so when the Chappelle show was on. That was
man, it was the best.
You couldn't do that nowadays. Though.
Yeah, no.
Oh no. It was controversial somewhat even then, but it would be like he would get canceled now.
Oh no, yeah. Today they would be like, you can't that one skit. Oh yeah, no way.
NIGGAR.
See, but that was the problem. Like David Chappelle was conflicted internally because he felt like he was propagating and giving cover to racists when he was just, it's obviously a hilarious skit to this day. Like it's one of the funniest skits that's ever been aired in television, but at the same time, it crosses a lot of lines where you're just like, wow. When we look at history and how sensitive, it's hilarious. The juxtaposition of how he did it was one of the funniest things ever. But in today's climate, you just couldn't get away with that at all.
It's just not possible. Not possible, but
canceled after 1 week.
At least, the good thing is that we were old enough to appreciate it when it came. Because I know people who have never seen the Chappelle show, and I showed a couple of friends. I showed a couple of friends the show,
horrified,
and they were just like, "Wow,
are we allowed to laugh?" Yeah, like they would probably look around before they're like,
they were looking at me like
that's hilarious, but I'm not sure. Do I have to go ahead to laugh?
Like, have you seen that video of American Bandstand where the white girls are in the crowd when Frankie, what's his name, comes out, and they're just like, looking around like they don't know what to do when they clap or not because they thought oh gosh, what was his name? The singer. Shit, I forgot his name. He sings that
recent.
Frankie Lyman.
No, yeah. Frankie Lyman comes out. They thought he was white. And they're all ready to get down. And they see that he's black, and all the girls are looking around. They're like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, it's a fucking little kid.
Yeah, and he was putting out a banger. That's how it would be today, though, for people to watch the Chappelle show and be like, "Are we allowed to clap? Are we allowed?
Is this actually TV you guys watch? Right. Can we laugh?
This was broadcast on cable, like during prime time. People had parties to watch the Chappelle show when it came out.
See, people used to have a backbone back then. But
Dude, the racial draft might have been one of the funniest.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Fucking hilarious.
Knee-High Park was one of my favorite ones too. The Sesame Street parody. That was good.
Yeah.
The World Series of Dice.
Oh my God.
Just bought this baby cash.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
All the characters, man. At the end of the racial draft, when the Wu-Tang, when the Chinese draft the Wu-Tang Clan, that was like
the RZA, the Gizza. Dr. Death.
So
sorry,
sad.
I keep derailing the show.
We'll never get back there.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into the predictions. It's week 3. We got our playoff predictor here. Let me pull it up real quick. Now we weren't able to, we didn't have our shit together, so we weren't able to exactly get last week's results saved in time. But
take our word for it, we were 100%.
We got all our predictions right. Don't worry about it.
I totally called the Giants going 2-0.
Hey, I said Jacksonville was going to beat Indy. As long as I say.
Actually,
I did have
Carolina.
Tennessee beating Buffalo, but
I believe I did say Carolina would win. I remember that.
I did too.
Yeah, because I can't have nice things.
We underestimated Matt Rule's incompetence.
Oh my gosh, that guy! He loses next week. He's done.
He's talking about him at Arizona State. Yeah,
I think he is too. Now they're saying that people are already calling for Hatchett.
Hackett should be fired.
He is completely incompetent. Like they were doing countdowns of the play clock.
Oh yeah. Get him in the end zone.
I was hearing I thought it was a joke. I'm like, oh, they're doing like a Happy New Year countdown, but I realized it was just
the crowd was doing a countdown.
Yes, the
like,
crowd
hurry
was
up!
doing the countdown.
Oh wow!
They had a delay of game on a field goal. They had a couple other delay of games. They still can't score in the red zone.
They might fire him in the end zone too.
Y'all knew, right?
All he has to do is go in the 20-yard line because nothing will ever happen like the Broncos offense.
He's getting the Herm Edwards treatment next game.
Y'all knew, right?
Herm Edwards got done dirty.
Yeah, they met his ass after the game
at the end zone. Like, hey, just go ahead and go to your car.
Yeah. Give us your passcode and your badge and your whistle, please.
We're gonna come get Hackett's headset mid-game. Like, you know what? This didn't work out.
Let me ask y'all, did y'all ever have any influence over coaches? Did they ever come to you and be like, hey, is this guy going to work out? Like, or are we going to have to, like, I mean, when y'all were like vets, 5, 6 years, I'm sure your opinion held weight, right? Like, it'd be like, dude, this guy don't. I know of me as when I was an employee or like when I was a sales rep, if I went to the guy up and said, hey, man, things are not right, like shit would happen. I mean, it's an organization. I'm saying when people complain to me, I would take that shit seriously.
No, I believe you, but offensive linemen are like, if this is the totem pole, we're like,
nobody wants to hear nothing coming out your mouth about nothing. You run the plays. That's what you do.
I'd be like, hey, Matt, Julio, can you please go upstairs and tell them, whatever.
Hey, that's how we would do it. On the old line, we would say, hey, Brad was the center. He's a 14-year vet. We'd be like, hey, Brad,
okay.
Hey, man, go say something to Dave. Tell Dave, man, tell Dave to tell them that we want to run this play. Because they come over to us on the sideline one game. I'll never forget. O-line coach comes over. We had like 2 just stifled drives. I think where were we playing at? We were in Tennessee. Comes over, he's like, hey, give me a list. What do you guys want to run? And so we're sitting there looking at each other like 36 power. Downhill on them. We got to get downhill.
No, but be serious. They're like, no, we're not doing whatever you guys
That's not
say.
in this week. That's not in this week. It's like, oh, God, that's what we need. And they don't, and I mean, look, man, they don't listen to us. They'll listen to the quarterback. They don't want to listen to the receivers. They're not even listening to the O-linemen. But on defense, it's different. On defense, they'll tell the coach what they want to run, and the coach will run it.
Yeah,
like I've seen that happen numerous times where they're like cussing at the coach, like "Motherfucker, run this!" And the next thing you know, you just see an all-out blitz, 0 coverage on the outside.
They don't care.
Top, like,
they don't care. Yeah. They don't care. We want to get off the field. Right. We want to get off the field.
That pecking order is crazy.
It's crazy, but you would think that the O-linemen, being the guys who kind of we really do kind of have an advanced perspective on the field, because we're the ones, we know where to expect people to be in the blocking scheme. And a lot of times we can tell what coverages defenses are in because we're looking at the safeties to kind of get hints for our calls inside the box. And we could tell you what plays really work if we break it down, but we just don't have that kind of procedural respect that other positions get. So
we want to run the ball, but OCs want to throw it.
They want to pass the ball. They don't want to run shit.
Yeah.
And they want as many receivers as they can get on the field.
Yeah. Hey, offense coordinators do not like running the ball.
Yeah.
They do not like running.
All right, if we got to throw it, coach, let's run, let's run some turn. Like, but then
we're going to run 3-10.
Then I got to waste my tight end. Like,
but you're saying,
it doesn't matter if he gets sacked.
As O-lineman, you're going to want to run the ball all the time, right? Is that?
Well, we want to running the ball is like the best way to pass the ball.
Yeah.
You can't run, you can't pass you can't just come out like I remember we came out one game, dude, and we were just in shotgun the whole first 3 drives. I'm like, bro, we don't pass the ball. We were not what are we doing? We're
we
like
suck.
3 and out. 3 and out. 3 and out. 3
Blaine
and out.
Gabbert is our quarterback.
You know what I mean? Like, stop this nonsense. Run the ball and then pass it.
No, but don't you realize nowadays everyone goes out of shotgun on 4th and short situations?
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
But
with QB draws.
Yeah, QB draws or rollouts or options, RPOs. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just go for a sneak.
I can't remember where we were my rookie season. It might have been against you guys, Ooch. We had something like 29 plays in a whole game. Because we come out like throw, punt. And then y'all would like run it right down our fucking throat or something.
Hey man, I remember there'd be games where the offense coordinator is so stuck on the shit that he wanted to do in the game plan that we got like 3 plays in the second quarter. I was sitting on the bench like, hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'm getting paid. We went 3 and out there on a 15-play drive over there. I mean, hey, I can't do nothing about that.
I'll be fresh next week.
I'll be fresh for the second half. I promise you that.
You need us. If you need us, you know where we'll be.
You know what I mean? All right. So let's get into this. First game up, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Cleveland blew it last week against the Jets. How do you give up? How do you lose up 2 scores with less than 2 minutes left? Ask the Cleveland Browns. They'll tell you how. This historically for me, I just feel like picking Cleveland to win a game in my mind is like taboo somewhat. So
right,
I'm going with the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to squeeze this one out. It's going to be
a
defensive win for the Steelers.
Yeah. Well, here's the question: what do you hate more, Matt Canada's offense or Joe Woods' defense? Both are awful. Steelers' offense was garbage against New England. Like, they couldn't do anything. Joe Woods, his apparent plan is soft zone D, where nobody can know whether to run a cover 2 or a cover 3. One rule that you have: don't get beat deep. And first thing they do, get beat deep. And it turns into just this really just bad shit house where you make Joe Flacco look like he's back in 2012. So
hey, dude was wide open too. He was just jogging.
Oh, both were jogging. They all were jogging. Even the defenders were jogging. It felt like one of those practice plays where you just catch it and then you just jog to the end zone. It felt like a training camp play.
Did y'all see my break? Well, you might not have seen the breakdown. When the ball was thrown, Davis was 3 yards behind Ward. When he caught it, he was 11 yards behind.
Oh,
that's how burnt Ward was. And then there wasn't a defender within so Delpit, the safety, was 13 yards away when he caught it. So literally nobody was in the picture. Like, that's how wide the freak opened. And for some reason, Delpit sucked to the middle because someone had explained it. They said that everyone else was in cover 3 and Ward thought they were in cover 2, which is the dumbest thing I could possibly think. Because, like, what cover 2 why would the corner stop in a cover 2, right?
Shouldn't he go with his man? Why are you trying to hug these short sidelines?
Well, in a cover 2, your corner is going to be playing the flat hooks. So
okay, so he's in a yellow basically, or whatever.
Yeah, he's going to be flat. So he's going to be playing for any out routes, any hook routes.
So that makes sense. But for him not to know that his safety was not coming over, like, because Delpit went in the middle.
But if it was a cover 2, you would still think that your safety is going to be over the top. That's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, but Delpit wasn't. Delpit went in the middle like he thought he was supposed to be, and they were toast. They were toast. So it was ugly. But that's just unacceptable. Like that's on coaching, right?
and that's their starters. These guys are vets, right?
First string guys.
Yeah, but I recognize those names.
I think Delpit's like a 3-year vet. I know he was out for his rookie year. Ward was a top like 3-4 pick about 4 or 5 years ago.
I thought it was like a first round pick.
Yeah, so there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have like these hybrid coverages where it's like
making football
one thing on
science.
Basically like 4 on one side and 2 on the other, and all these weird things that they do nowadays instead of just, I got this guy.
And the other thing was the other safety, because they went with the too high safety look. It was basically a dime. The other safety went. He just vacated where he was, so he went all the way back. So they basically had 2 safeties in the middle, like stacked,
just
like
standing next to each other, or stacked over. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's not even a coverage.
And then Ward was in the flat, so Flacco saw that immediately. Like he didn't even hesitate. Like you can't do that to an NFL quarterback. He saw it immediately.
Even one that's been on the bench for like the last 8 years.
For real. Yeah. Just put some air under that mug. Just put some air under it. It should be good.
Easy. He's like, I'll take that shit.
I remember these looks.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that from the NFC Championship game against freaking Denver is where he saw that first. So it was ugly coverage. Ugly coverage.
Yeah. So I got the Steelers. I guess are we consensus on the Steelers on this? Or
I'm actually gonna take the Browns to win.
I'm coin
flip. They're angry. Okay. The Steelers, TJ Watt was the pass rush.
Yeah,
He's
they
out.
don't have
they don't have any pressure on the quarterback, and unfortunately, Chubb and Hunt that they should have won that game. I'm sorry, they won that game.
They should have easily won that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm also gonna take the Browns because they did something to get ahead that much, even though they shit their pants at the very end. And I
feel like mentally, if you lose to the Jets, that actually if this were a video game, everybody's stats would drop three points. That's how bad it is. I mean, I just
team morale goes down by 5.
You know what I mean? And really, and I'm not really knocking Cleveland on this. I'm just saying, they made the mistakes that led to them being in that position. Nick Chubb's supposed to go out of bounds at the 1 yard line. You don't take that.
But I'm not gonna blame Nick Chubb for scoring a touchdown to go up.
No, I'm not. Neither am I. Yeah.
When in the reality, a couple other players went out of bounds beforehand. They have no timeouts, so there should be absolutely no excuse to give up 2 scores in a minute and a half.
Yeah. A score, you lose the onside kick, and another score.
The second score was even more egregious because they let them run 8 plays and only burn 45 seconds.
It was all soft zone. I think there was one two-man blitz up the middle. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
And then the last play,
chunks.
The last play they came out in the nickel,
coming a mile away.
It was a nickel zone.
In a nickel.
Linebacker flat-footed in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it just made no sense. If you're going to stay in Tampa 2 the whole way down, stay in Tampa 2. Why would you put in a linebacker? Why would you have that seam route covered by a mic? It just made no sense.
For real, you should have the safety sitting right on it.
Yeah, and Flacco, again, though, to his credit, read that shit like a book. Instantly, as soon as he dropped back and his right foot planted, ball was out. I was like, damn. That was a great read by him.
And when you see a quarterback do that, he's throwing for money.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a comfortable step. It's a comfortable, he gets that back step in the ground, steps forward, and just launches it straight. And
he must have seen that JOK was in the middle. He was like, "Yep, I know exactly what's going to happen right now." Yeah. There you go, Grant Wilson. Here's your touchdown. All right, sorry.
I got Steelers.
I studied that game, so I did my homework.
I got Steelers. You guys go ahead and put in your picks there on who you got on the playoff predictor. It'll be it's as good as a 50-50 game. I mean, it's a rivalry, and it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's either going to be a really close Steelers victory or a blowout for the Browns. I don't think it's going to be either or.
Next up, Raiders go to Tennessee. Now, this might have been 6 weeks ago, we might have been saying that, this is Tennessee all day, but Tennessee doesn't look very good this year.
Well,
and Tannehill got benched.
Either.
Raiders didn't look that good, but Raiders put points on the board and had a solid lead that they fucked off. That's
and they
on them.
imploded in the fourth quarter because they had no offensive game plan. And their defense got exhausted.
Yeah. And Kyler Murray on top.
He fucking ran Tecmo Bowl offense on him.
Yeah, he did.
He sure did. Tennessee at home. I mean, who's starting? Who's going to be the starting quarterback for them this week?
It's got to be Tannehill.
It's got to be Tannehill. I think they're just letting him rest.
I don't think Malik Willis knows the offense yet. Come on now. That's like a week 14 decision.
Yeah. He don't know the offense.
Just had to see what he had.
Yeah.
I think this one, man, this one's actually not as clear cut, man. I mean, for me, I think I like Las Vegas, but Tennessee they play. I mean, they're a tough team at home, even though they lost their first game. I mean, they're still a tough team at home. And after getting shellacked by Buffalo like that, I mean, that's probably an easy game to get over. 10 hours, you're like, all right, we got our ass kicked.
They're at the facility right now, getting motherfucked.
They're still practicing. They're still practicing. Man, I don't know. I guess my gut's telling me let's go with Las Vegas because Jaguars are running the AFC South, baby. Let's go.
You really trust Josh McDaniels, though?
I mean, I trust
Devontae
Adams and Derek Carr to just put points. Look, Tannehill ain't gonna win them this game.
No, I mean, you have the game plan. You stuff Henry, you stuff their offense.
Yeah. If you stuff Henry, it's over with.
Yeah. I think for me, like, I think that Oakland or Las Vegas, they're a fraudulent 0-2, meaning that they're worse than 0-2. Like, I think that McDaniels is straight trash. I don't think he knows how to game plan. I think there's a reason why he hasn't been a head coach. I mean, I'm just a McDaniels hater.
I was never a fan of him.
I think
Tannehill's going to play better. I think they benched him to motivate him. He's definitely going to come out there at home. So I like Tennessee here.
All right.
Give me the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, you want the Raiders?
Yeah. What about you, Tree? Who you got?
Ooh, I'm going to go with the Titans only because I just do not trust Josh McDaniels to do anything. I think this is a game somebody loses instead of wins.
And now that I can agree with. Somebody's going to lose this game. And it's not going to be somebody who just wins it. Next up, Baltimore at New England. New England squeezed it out against Pittsburgh. Baltimore shit the bed against Miami, or Miami just made it happen.
They just went crazy.
I think Miami just made that happen, which kind of shocked Baltimore. Baltimore got shocked in that game when Miami just started scoring, ripping off touchdowns left and right.
That could be.
I was watching the game live, and I was like, wow.
They're going to give people
they were
problems.
just down 3 scores.
Dude, I took Baltimore minus 3.5 and the money line. I was counting that money. I was like, let me see how I'm gonna reinvest this money in the
Daddy
Sunday
needs
night
some new
game.
shoes.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Daddy needs some new shoes. Baby need new shoes. I was ready, and then they fucking blew. I was mad as fuck, dude. I've never been so mad over a football game.
And that was probably, I mean, that was a damn good performance by Baltimore on offense. And,
yeah. Lamar.
I think, Lamar. Oh my gosh, he is on the warpath.
He said, "Give me my money. Give me my money."
You knew that was coming. Then Tua straight up ups him with 400 yards and 6 TDs.
Who would have thought? What'd you say about Alabama quarterbacks? 5.
I did say
can't
some
throw the
shit
ball
about
like
Alabama.
You did.
I did talk some major shit about Tua.
I think Tua is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the league because everyone thinks he's a dude who can't throw. I mean, I think he does fine in a West Coast offense like this. You have good receivers that can just terrorize teams. I think he does well, like he did last week.
You know what? If you want Tua to look good, just take footage of him and flip it so that he's throwing right-handed.
Right-handed.
Be like, man, that dude can throw.
Exactly.
I'll just look at him and
it's just because he throws lefty, people think it's awkward.
I think because he's a lefty, it looks weird. People don't really buy into like the lefty just being able to put it. Because look, there's only been there's been a few good lefties in the NFL. Steve Young being most notable, probably. But then you have guys like Tim Tebow who are lefty, and we all seen what he does with footballs when he throws them in the air. So I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be. I wouldn't fault you for thinking that.
I mean, Peyton Manning threw ducks.
Yeah, late in his career. To this day, I think Tim Tebow was actually right-handed, and he was just messing with us.
And then he got us and he got himself because he ain't in the league because of it.
Sorry.
I mean, for me, I look at this. I say Baltimore. I mean, New England. They got the win against Pittsburgh, but let's not get it twisted.
Neither team.
They're not a team that's ready to take on a top tier elite level. Baltimore Ravens, which regardless of the loss, they still a top tier team, no doubt. Lamar's gonna have a field day with their ass. I'm going with Baltimore.
Same.
Same here. I think they're going to be angry coming out of that game.
If they lose, Harbaugh might get fired.
Yeah. Neither they won't.
Yeah. If they go on a losing streak, Harbaugh's job will be in jeopardy, I believe.
They already fired Martin. First Salvo's been fired.
Mm-hmm. Next up, because I think we're all consensus on that, Baltimore's getting in that ass. Cincy at New York, facing the Jets. Cincy has to be mad, right? They got to be mad.
Yeah.
You can't come out the way that they've come out this season and not be like, what the fuck? Because, I mean, look, this is a team that I felt like they had a legitimate chance of getting back to a conference championship.
Yeah, they should have extremely high aspirations this year.
Yeah.
And to start like this.
Yeah. Do you think if they lose this game that Zach Taylor, despite playing in the Super Bowl last year, is on the hot seat?
No, since he's too family oriented, they're not going to fire somebody immediately. They dealt with Marvin Lewis's bullshit for 18 years.
Not even a tepid seat.
Yeah, it should be.
I think another. If this was like the Cowboys, it'd be like, get your, hold on to your butts. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. But I do think that there's got to be an extreme amount of pressure on that offensive line in Cincinnati because, and I will say, we looked at, me and JB looked at the film. We broke down the film. This is the honest truth. The offensive line's actually not doing bad. Lyle Collins is dog shit.
When I say
he got wrecked in that game. I mean, wrecked.
When I say he got owned on levels I have not seen on the professional football field, to the point where this guy was getting spun in circles by Micah Parsons. He was getting spun in circles. He didn't know where Parsons was. His back was to him. He was like this, and Micah Parsons is over here going to the quarterback, and he's still like this, like Micah Parsons is in front of him.
Now, I will say this won't be the last time that Micah Parsons eats somebody's lunch.
Yeah, it won't
be.
But you know what?
But
you were his teammate.
He had this
which means you should have known what to expect.
Shook.
That's how
To be fair, he has had to face Micah Parsons and TJ Watt. So kind of maybe you have to give him a pass there, but
AFC South, our left tackle had to play against Dwight Freeney and Mario Williams, all these top, all these heralded defensive ends twice a year. Come on, you got paid big money. Don't nobody want to hear that.
Big money.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah,
and he said himself, ain't nobody gonna touch this quarterback. He said it.
They touched him.
Said it.
They touched him.
They touched him in more than ways than one.
Yeah,
they probed his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, it was
in there.
Hey, JB, remember we're looking at one play, dude. Michael Parsons is right in front of you.
It was like he ignored him.
He ignored him and went to the defensive tackle.
What do y'all do? Like, okay, y'all were guards, right? What do y'all do when the tackle's just getting beat like that? Do y'all just do your job and just look around and be like,
hey, better him than me?
We just be looking at him like,
hey, coach, we got to slide over here.
Hey, coach, man, we need to bring a chip over here for the tackle.
We got to start sliding or something, man. This shit ain't working.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, because that cat, I mean, look, and it was really Lyle Collins was misused. He didn't even use his chips. He had chips, but he was so bad in his pass sets that the chip was completely irrelevant because by the time the chip got there, Parsons had already went back inside and it was wide open space. And it's like, bruh, your quarterback Joe Burrow started getting happy feet. He was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. He's just like, start running. Like, fuck it.
But see, what's crazy to me, though, is like Burrow knows how to play under that scenario where his left guard or his right tackle is getting eaten alive. So there's something off with him now. Like last year, he would fire the ball and take chances. Now I think he expects his line to do their job, and he's going to adjust. That's why I'm taking the Bengals this weekend. Plus, anytime a team steals a win like the Jets do, the next week is almost always a letdown. They emotionally spent themselves to win that game. And now they're cruising. They probably didn't have to practice until today. You know, they got 2 days off and they're just going to come into that game unprepared. And Cincy is not going 0-3. They're not going 0-3.
If they go 0-3, it's panic time.
Yeah. Big panic time. But first of all, there is no way in hell the Jets got to see you Wednesday.
You think so for that shit?
No way.
Yeah. The owner came out. The owner came out the skybox and was like, "No, not in my house. Not in my house.
I mean,
they practice tomorrow."
If you're like,
y'all boy, the franchise ain't even earned a victory Monday.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like the powerhouse teams, maybe you can get away with one this early. These guys know.
Not a team that knows by all accounts they should have lost that game by 2 scores.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we got to work on defense.
I feel like the Bengals.
Run defense.
Yes, I feel like the Bengals will refocus themselves and they will get a decisive win this week against the Jets. Yeah. Next up, Kansas City at the Colts. The Colts are 0-1 after
the sister kissers.
The shellacking they took in Duval. And it looks like, with Kansas City coming to town, like I think we all can agree it ain't gonna get no better for these cats.
Those fuckers are being turned into glue. It looks bad.
Damn.
Unanimous.
They were talking all that shit about horse. Go horse. Go horse. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're going horse, all right.
I hope they can score this week.
That's the first objection.
Well, you wanted an improvement over Carson Wentz and his QBR of 4. Well, I mean, you got an improvement. Matt Ryan's QBR was 6.
That is more.
Yeah,
that is more.
He ain't wrong.
This next one is compelling to me, though.
Yeah, I don't think the Colts are pulling this one out.
So. I don't think so either.
This next one might be the game of the week.
This might be like the barn burner.
This game is an early, and this is the next game up here. This is an early game of the year contender right here, I think. If we're just looking at it based on, what we know now. This is a setup it's going to be a crazy game, and it's in Miami. Buffalo at Miami,
maybe too hot though.
Woo!
I hated fucking playing.
Now
anywhere
I will
in
say that I will say that
Florida
will factor into this game
in the first month of the year, or September games.
First month of the season.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Watch cramps. Cramps are going to be rampant. There will probably be 100 plus on the field.
Oh yeah. I remember we played. We played Buffalo like maybe 4 times when I was in Jacksonville, like a lot. But we played them second game of the season in Jacksonville. Oh, it was such a lovely week of practice. We were like, these motherfuckers ain't gonna live out here. They gonna die.
We were down there in Daytona. It was like sticking.
Oh, dude, yeah. I grew up in Alabama, man. Like the weather down there, especially southern Florida, is should not be legal.
So we played against Buffalo, and this was at the top of like the game plan chart when we went in for the team meeting on Wednesday. Get hydrated because it's going to be a burner. And that's why we practicing this shit, to have it as an advantage. We got to the game on the field before kickoff. It was 115 degrees. By the middle of the first quarter, the starting defensive backs for Buffalo were going to the locker room to get IVs.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's how we won.
That's
they
how
were
you
so
knew you had
tired
them.
by the end of
Yep.
the game. We were like, yes.
And that's something you can't just prepare. Like you can be in
No.
shape, like you can be in the best shape of your life. The heat will take it out of you, and you will never recover once you've spent it. All the IVs, all the drink, all the water, all that
The
stuff. Like
muscles
your
just give
body's
out.
like, yo,
It's too late.
yeah.
Yeah.
By
The
game
muscles
day,
just give
it's
out.
too late. You
Yeah.
got to be getting ready the whole week in advance.
Yeah. And
I mean,
they
you
can
have to be
try.
if you got an indoor facility, you got to be practicing in the indoor facility the whole time.
with the
heat turned on.
heat turned
Well,
on.
like-
But the other thing is like you can try to simulate that environment. It still
True.
can't simulate
It
it.
still,
Like,
it still doesn't simulate.
It's 115, like a 15-degree swing. Like, nah, it's going to be tough for Buffalo. They might pull it out because they're just so talented. But if that's a 1 p.m. game in Miami, they're going to struggle.
Ooh.
Struggle.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. You'll see the team's energy slowly, just chunks of it begin to
Happened
just
in Baltimore.
go away.
It happened
Yeah.
in Baltimore.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I like Miami in this game because of the home field advantage, and also I think what they did last week was a statement win. By all accounts, I think we all can agree that any other year with Tua at quarterback, or even just Miami in general, in that situation, that game is done. 28-3 or 28-7. That game is done.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even
With
a
Lamar?
chance. No,
Yeah.
with Lamar.
Yeah.
To pull that win out like they did, that changes the franchise now. That can change a franchise's entire perspective. And
Changes both teams' seasons.
Yeah.
Like Miami might have been dead to rights, and Baltimore may have been riding. Now they might implode.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami put people on notice.
I'm going to
Miami
take the
put
Bills
people on
still.
notice. I
just
think
because of
the
talent.
Bills are more talented, and I think they have more chemistry as a franchise with their culture and everything. But Mother Nature has a way of balancing things out. So I'm going Miami.
I'm going to say Buffalo only because, once again, I think it's going to be a really close match. I think Buffalo's just more well-rounded at this point. I think they're going to terrorize Miami's offensive line. They still have issues. They're still trying to build that up from last year. And at the same time, I think Buffalo has the weapons to match Miami's.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
I think Buffalo is just going to out-talent them. You know, you get a 4-score lead. It doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. You know?
Yeah.
So Buffalo's been bludgeoning people. I don't see them slowing down. This probably is the biggest trap game for them all year. But still, I think they're just so talented. They're so good. You saw them. You saw what they did.
I
to
mean,
Tennessee.
okay, but think about this. How do you feel about the way they beat Tennessee? That's more Tennessee's just not with it this year than I think.
I think it's a little of both. It's both.
Josh Allen's
he's
a beast,
making
but he
throws that nobody else is making.
But he was
right
doing
now.
that last year. He was doing it last year.
And
He was
they
doing the
almost
same
went
thing.
to the Super Bowl. You know,
True,
like I mean,
true.
like they're a good fucking team. Man.
I think
don't
the
know.
defensive,
I feel like
the defensive front's going to cause issues.
Yeah, they got a good defense.
That's true. Von Miller is a problem.
He is eating this year.
Yeah.
Like he's not 33 years old.
No. He might be taking a little extra.
Hey, whoa. That's a Dallas guy. Come on.
Hey, they done caught him with extra before. Not extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess for me, I'm sticking with Miami. My pick's Miami.
Yeah. Stick to
I
your
think
pick
Miami
though.
does.
You know.
I do think
So,
this could easily be game of the year.
Could
Could be like the 40.
Watch it be a blowout.
Yeah, I'd love to see this
Golly.
like on a Monday night. That'd be the
Yeah,
game.
this needs to be the Sunday night game or Monday night game.
Yeah, it needs to get flexed.
Because we had two clunkers Thursday last
Oh
week.
God.
Oh yeah. Ugh. All right. So everybody got their picks in. Next up,
Ooh, the hometown pick.
Jaguars at
Yeah,
Los
got some
Angeles
bad
against
news for you.
Chargers.
Yeah. You gotta go cross country,
San Diego got punched in the mouth again. I'm sorry, LA got punched in the mouth again. I keep calling them San Diego. They should still be there. But at the same time, I think Jacksonville is a good story. I think they're improving, but at the same time, LA is just going to come out and destroy them. Sorry, Huge.
LA,
you're improving. You're improving.
Let me preface this to all my Jags fans out there. Let me preface my statement by saying this Jacksonville team is a much better team than it was last year, and that's evident. I don't think anybody can deny that. They are a much better team. They are a team with leadership. They have a purpose. They have motivation to continue to win games.
They have an adult
They
head
have
coach.
the energy.
They have a head
grown up, right? They got everything that
pylon and a better coach than
you can. Come on. You can already see Trevor Lawrence more confident, better throws, better routes, everything. It's there. But let me explain something to you about the Jaguars that you may or may not know if you're a fan. We don't win on the West Coast. And we don't win on the West Coast is not that we don't win. We damn near don't compete on the West Coast. And it's a mystery. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. My entire time in Jacksonville, 7 years with the playoff teams, anything. It didn't matter. When we went to the West Coast, we got stomped, and it wasn't close in any of the games. 2 times against the Chargers, 1 time against Oakland, 2 times against Seattle. We got our asses kicked, and it was like we prepared. But something about being on the West Coast, doesn't agree with us.
Your body don't show up till 3 hours later.
And for real, like by the end of the third, almost the end of the third quarter, your body's moving faster. You're like, oh shit, okay, like I got a little bit more juice. I would hope that Jacksonville will compete in this matchup before I'll even say that they're going to win. I don't think we're going to win this game. And I don't think it says anything about the team if we lose this game. Even if we get blown out. I would say if you're a fan of the Jags and they get blown out, don't be mad about that. Because it would be like the 9th time that's happened on the trip to the West Coast in a row. That's just like the Colts can't win in Duval. Something about it, they can't win in Duval. Something about it, we can't win on the West Coast. And I'm not, and I would love to be proven wrong, but even knowing that I'm still picking the Jags, but I know we're gonna go over there and get our ass kicked. All right, I'm doing this because I'm a Jaguar, so I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick them because of my pride, but I know it's gonna happen. That's all I got.
I got some good news, bad news for you, Ooch. Good news is, I'll start with the bad news. Bad news is the Jaguars are losing. Good news is you'll end the day still in first place. That's
still in first place
because everyone else is
number
losing.
one. We're
the
only team with the win in the AFC South.
That is something.
Just watch the Texans win and usurp first place. that would be peak AFC South.
Yeah.
Only the AFC South could be this AFC South. All right.
New tank division, baby.
And I'm assuming all you guys are going with
LA. Chargers.
LA.
Give me LA.
Yeah. Got you. All right. Next game up. This is the cross conference games for the weekend.
Oh, the Levy Smith
You got
Bowl.
Houston. Oh, you got Houston.
What to think of it?
This is
Chicago.
a tough call right here. Oh my gosh. These are 2 awful teams.
Someone has to win, right?
Somebody doesn't have to.
Honestly, can we just have
tie.
another monsoon? It would make it much more entertaining.
Scoreless tie.
I don't know who to pick.
I don't know who to pick on this one because they both suck. I mean, I can't for the life of me understand why Chicago did not address their offensive line.
I don't know why they're
trying
to help Justin Fields whatsoever.
They're not ready. They're not ready to
whatever.
rebuild.
Because that would have been the first thing you do if you're trying to rebuild this franchise, because that's where you suffer the greatest historically over the last 10 years. That's been their dead spot is the O-line. Yeah. They don't have an O-line worth shit.
They let their best linemen go in the offseason. James Daniels and Jason Peters, if you want to go that route too.
Well, Jason
and I said something when 40-year-old
he's a mercenary.
Peters,
he's a mercenary.
40-year-old Jason Peters is your best lineman. That's alarming.
Oh man, I mean, normally in the case of two terrible teams playing, you got to assume that the home team has the advantage because the away team being terrible means they're probably not going to be great on the road. They're probably going to be worse on the road.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Chicago because keep that AFC South winless, baby. Woo! Jags in number one. Jags number one in the AFC South for 100 years.
Yeah, I'm going to agree there. I'm just going to take the Bears just for the pure fact that they're at home and they already won one game, so maybe a monsoon will help them out again. Who knows?
I just flipped a coin and the Bears are going to win.
Okay.
I feel like the only way the Bears lose is if Lori Lightfoot just comes out and embarrasses them on a grand stage. That's the only thing, but it's Bears. I mean, the Texans are tanking.
Well, didn't she say they're going to build a dome?
Well, she wants to build a dome. And if they move to Arlington Heights, she wants to bring another NFL team to Chicago.
What? Ain't no other NFL team coming to Chicago for what?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what she said.
Well,
that's crazy talk right there.
A city that big could
Man, stop. They ain't got enough winners to be a team that can get a city that can get another team.
I mean, the only way you can do it is if you build a stadium in Southside and good
luck with that. Yeah, good. True. Who's going to that game? Who's going to that night game? Tonight? Sunday night on the South Side. Fuck that shit.
We've got a total attendance today of about 9,000 people.
Oh, wow. Good Lord.
All right, so Bears over the Texans. Next game up. This game,
let's ride.
It would have been way more interesting, 2 weeks ago looking at this game, but I feel like, San Francisco going into Denver, I don't feel like Denver is the threat that we thought they would be.
Yeah, they are.
They're not even close.
We all overestimated Nathaniel Hackett's competence. I thought he would at least be passable, but it's bad. It's Freddie Kitchens tier at this point. Like, it's getting bad.
Damn. So one and done?
He might be one and done if it gets this bad. You threw 3 first-round picks to get Russell Wilson.
But
and a quarter Billy.
So what is their problem? I mean, are we talking just play calling?
I think it's everything related to coaching, play calling, clock management, overall scheming, just general situational football, red zone awareness. Red zone calling is terrible.
The situational football, this is like football 101. You understand that in this situation, this is how you should approach it. If it's obviously, like, for example, if you got a lead late in the game, you're in a 4-minute drill, 4-minute mode. So you're running the ball. Downhill, everything's downhill, stay in bounds, protect the ball, don't turn it over. Like, that's situational football. In the red zone, you should be expecting certain kind of defenses. You get inside the 10, you should be expecting more man coverage, more zero blitzes. Maybe a red 8 coverage where you've got one defender sitting in the middle of the end zone with everybody else manned up. And, you have to have plays that attack these kind of things because you can't throw the ball in the back of the end zone generally in the red zone. A lot of times you can get more often than not, it's either getting batted down or getting picked off. Sometimes you can squeeze it in, but these are things that a coach should be well-versed in, and they should drill this as a team a lot to be good at it. And the Broncos aren't good at any of this.
No.
So you don't have the chemistry. And when he said he wasn't on the same page with his quarterback, you're not on the same page with your quarterback. Do I blame Russell Wilson for that? I don't know how much you can. At the end of the day, he is still beholden to the scheme that he's in. So I think San Fran is going to go in there and pummel them. I think they're going to pummel them.
I like San Fran as well. A little biased because went to school with Shano, but they just win with Jimmy G, your quarterback.
They just win with this cat. I don't know what to say about, like, the very first play he came in,
and they lose when he's not there.
Trey Lance's injury. It was an explosive play, 20+ yards. I was like, here we are again. You guys have been trying to trade this guy for 5 years, and he has done nothing but produce. Even you can say what you want about the defense carrying. Yeah, you can say what you want about the defense carrying him, but the guy has produced, and he showed it to you last week. They're a much better team than they looked like, obviously, against Chicago because of the way that the weather was there. But, they go in week 2, even though Trey Lance gets hurt, they look dominant.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't think the Broncos are ready for this. What do you guys think?
The guy wins 65+% of his games.
Yeah, he's just a winner.
Bums
Look,
don't do that.
Here's the difference. Trey Lance has to go to the strip club. Jimmy G, the strippers come to him. That's all I got to say. San Francisco is winning this game.
Yeah. Broncos country, let's ride to a loss. San Francisco.
All right, next game up. NFC matchups. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota looked like hot garbage on Monday night. Detroit, young, energized. They got a win that is probably going to propel them. That win they got against the Commanders, even though it was the Commanders, that was huge for that franchise. Huge. I feel like these guys are playing the right kind of football. The Vikings have the talent overall, but they're not playing the right kind of football. I'm going with Detroit. In a close game, less than 10. I think they win by either a field goal or a touchdown.
I think it's going to be like one of those 41-38 games. Both of these defenses look a bit iffy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to head home field advantage Minnesota, but that's only because I feel like Minnesota's offense is going to come out swinging after Kirk Cousins had his typical Monday night bullshit. So I will go
Monday night.
Oh yeah, I think it said like 2-10 or something like that.
Yeah, 2-10. That's on sports ball.
Well, I mean, if they're playing like at a non-prime time, I think Kirk Cousins is probably going to have a good game.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is always the kind of guy who, when you need him to perform, he's garbage. But when you expect nothing, he's throwing for 400 yards and 3.
That's my only. Yeah, I'm in Minnesota just because the start time is at 1.
Yeah, if you can't find the game, he's going to have a good one.
If it's not on Fox,
if it's not on TV and nobody gives a damn, nobody's watching, you're going to see the stat line at the bottom of the screen.
If the tree falls in the woods.
Yards. Does it make a sound? I mean, look, I agree that, that is kind of his pattern. But I think that the gods of football have deemed that this Detroit team has suffered long.
Yeah, they can play. They can play.
I think it'll be close.
It'll be a close game. It'll be a good game. Let's see here. Next up. Philly at Washington. This is going to be easy. This is going to be
dude, if it's in Washington, it's going to be a glorified Phillies home game. 2/3 of FedEx Field is going to be full of Eagles fans. And if you're lucky, maybe only about 1/3 of them will get injured from FedEx Field itself.
We're just hoping that nobody drowns in sewage water from the pipe.
Is Daniel Snyder allowed to go to these games?
He can. He'll just get arrested.
Can he set foot in America?
He's still off the Mediterranean coast.
And then he has to
living his best life.
He has to stream these games, or else
Ooh.
I want Washington to win, obviously, for selfish reasons, because I need the Eagles to come back down to earth. But no way in hell do they pull this off.
The Eagles are too good, man. There's no way.
The Eagles are probably I would say I feel like the Eagles are probably the most well-rounded team in the NFL.
They're good.
I mean
Hurts has looked strong.
Yeah. The only way you're going to beat them is to somehow get Hurts or get Hurts to revert. And I don't think that's happening right now.
He looks confident.
Those
he looks
Alabama
confident.
QBs, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although he might be an Oklahoma QB.
Yeah, he's
a half breed. He's a half breed.
Yeah.
Oklahoma and Alabama. They look just. I mean, he looks good. I didn't expect much from him, but he's looking really good. And they got weapons. He's got AJ Brown.
They got some shit around him now.
I mean, he's got weapons. You got a running game, you got an O-line, you got wideouts, and you got a defense that is hawking right now.
Yeah.
So
Darius Slay
blow their ass out.
Mm-hmm. He was a lion, Darius Slay. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he was
in Philly now.
He was balling in Detroit too.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Patricia happened. That's why he got run out of town.
It's true.
All right.
He wants to win some games.
We all know that Washington's getting destroyed on Sunday. So next up, Saints at Carolina. I mean, this one is not. This is actually a little bit harder to call than I would have originally thought. This is a New Orleans team that looks kind of out of sorts.
My question is, is Jameis going to be at full health and is Kamara playing? Because that'll dictate how this game goes. And trust me, I think the Saints are going to win either way because Matt Rule. But at the same time, like Winston looked bad with those injuries, and no Kamara really exposed their one-dimensional offense without him.
He has what a fractured vertebra or something.
4 fractured vertebrae in his back.
My back is broken.
Happen?
It's spinal. It's spinal.
I gotta get that clip on here. I gotta use that clip. Oh my god. My back. It's my back.
Neck.
My back.
It's
What's wrong with it? It's broken. What do you mean broken? My back is broken. It's spinal.
Wow, that's like the best like post-game interview ever. Or post-fight interview, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Jameis is a treasure, you know.
Oh, Jameis has some great interviews too.
Yeah.
But hey, that's Tyson. That's Mike Tyson.
That's Mike. Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I gotta go find the clip after this.
If those two had a baby, goodness gracious.
So who wins this game? I mean,
I still think
the Saints.
I like the Saints. I mean, Carolina's garbage. They just
Carolina is straight trash. Man, Baker Mayfield, does he regret that he's there, or is he like, well, at least I'm starting?
He wants to start.
I mean, he's got a job.
He would have been miserable in Cleveland. So
yeah, I feel that.
I mean, a chance to put on tape that shit. You're not gonna get signed next year doing this.
Oh yeah, his film don't look good, so not like he's I
don't know. He's in that's a catch-22.
He is on a fast pace to being a career backup. That's where he's going.
Yeah. I mean, at least you could have pocketed the $20 million if you stayed in Cleveland.
For real, he should. I mean, that's the next time your ass gets hurt. Take your ass on the IR. You'd have been much better off. He'd still be in Cleveland. Next up, Falcons at Seattle. Ooh, Falcons.
I know last time I went out there, we won.
Oh man, I don't know what the hell I mean. Shit. Look,
10 fucking years ago.
Hey, bro, Seattle, bro. I hated playing it. I didn't hate playing in Seattle. I actually liked playing in Seattle. I just hated knowing that it didn't matter. We were gonna lose there. we almost won that. Well, no, actually, I'm lying. We almost took the lead one game against Seattle in Seattle, 4th and 2 at the fucking 2-yard line. And I'm telling you, our offensive coordinator shit a brick of a play out of his ass. We were all in the huddle like, this is not going to work.
Did he just ask Madden?
Hey, we were like, this is not going to work, Dirt Cutter. Hey, what did you call it?
Just tell him your headset went out.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll never forget it. It was so damn loud. Dave Garrard is screaming. I'm just looking at the big gap in the middle of his teeth to read his lips. And I'm like, okay, he's calling this. I said, hey, are we really calling this play? We're calling a fucking screen? A screen at the 2?
They won't expect it.
They won't
well
as they zero blitzed the shit out of everything from they ran zero. Like what did we call it? They ran what do we call that blitz? Where they just it's literally everybody blitzes.
Zero blitz.
Cover zero all out blitz.
Yeah, but we had a name for it. Anyways, Dave couldn't even throw the ball. He tried to throw the ball as he got hit. He fumbled because he got hit almost instant. Because we were just because it was like 7 men running through the line, and we're like, trying to sort it out.
You gotta like play Red Rover.
You gotta play Red Rover. Like, am I passing? Am I running?
Everybody just link up.
He gets hit, fumbles it. They pick it up. They run it back about 40 yards before Maurice Jones-Drew tackles the cat. And from that point, and the game at that point was 3-3. And then by halftime, it was 20-3.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We were dead in the fucking water after that. But it's not a fun place to play. It's a fun place to play, but it's not a fun place to play. But for this game, with what they got going on, I want to believe in Atlanta. I'm going with Atlanta on this.
They're going to jump out to a really big lead.
Oh Lord! Don't make it be 28-3.
28, a 25-point lead, perhaps.
Oh no!
3-score lead. It is destined to be given away. Oh my goodness!
Or maybe it's like last week, the reverse Uno, where they come back and somehow still find a way to blow it.
I mean, I want to believe in them. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
I like I
don't think Geno is. I think he's a falsehood. I think that he is not the guy that. I don't know why they thought he was the guy to carry this team this season, but good luck. Good luck.
He's a placeholder. It's either him or Drew
what?
Lock. Make your choice.
Yeah, for Drew Lock.
To what? Yeah, who's coming? Who's available next year? Bryce Young, CJ Stroud,
Spencer Rattler.
He garbage.
You're better off keeping what you got.
Yeah.
I like the Falcons here.
Little hometown cooking right there.
Oh yeah.
Cooking.
Hey, if Ooch can still pick the Jags,
knowing what's gonna happen. I done told you what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna say Falcons because Seahawks are in a deep tank. They're trying to give up some picks. I don't think they blow it this time.
Seattle. They don't even know how to tank.
They're gonna find out.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see them pulling off some BS.
If they win, it'll be at the last second. If Seattle's going to win, it'll be at the last second. If the Falcons win, it'll be at the last second. I mean, it's going to be an end of the game thing because these are two great teams, because these are two subpar teams who are going to be battling through errors and miscalculations to stumble their way to a win or a loss. All right, so moving on. Next matchup. LA at Arizona. Rams going in to Arizona to face Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I mean, I don't know what to make of this team. I just don't know what to make of him because, outside of some of the, obviously electrifying things that Kyler Murray does, this isn't a good team.
They're badly coached.
They're badly coached. They're very badly coached.
It's the beginning of the season, though, so they'll have a chance.
I mean, Kingsbury's been there for what, 3-4 years now?
It's down the stretch that they fall apart.
Yeah. Hey, what was it that we had looked at one time? This guy
he's collapsed every single year.
Going back to Texas Tech.
At the same time, going back to Texas Tech.
It's fucking crazy.
As soon as you get into the last quarter of the season, losses, all of them. Ooh. I mean, look, this is a team. This is the little brother of the NFC West. You know what I mean? This is the little brother. And until little brother can come up with something better than the gimmick of running around the field for 40 seconds before he does something, that was all cute and all, but
not going to work on Aaron Donald.
A lot. No. It's okay. You have to remember, Cliff Kingsbury designed for that to happen. That's all we need.
I meant for him to do that. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Look at this chalkboard. You see these squiggles? I drew it up just that
way. It's in the play art.
Yes.
I just
hold L2.
Just not. They don't have. There's no confidence. They don't look like they have confidence to me. And just, watching it, I got a chance to watch parts of that game and against the Raiders. And, I mean, it was more the Raiders just kind of like, come on, their receiver fumbled twice in the same drive for the walk-off.
Yeah.
Their offense barely saw the field in the fourth quarter. They couldn't do stuff, and their defense was exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not – they were lucky to get that win. But they won't be lucky against the Rams because the Rams are loaded with talent.
Yeah.
And when they lose, generally they beat themselves more than you beat them. So I'm going with LA.
I'm going to go LA too. I think it's going to be close because I feel like LA's shown some flaws this year, but I don't think they're going to bow out that quickly. It's going to be a glorified home game for, probably.
True.
I don't know. I was going to say, because there were a bunch of Chiefs fans in Arizona week 1. But I don't know if Rams fans really travel per se.
Well, I mean,
maybe a few of them.
They barely travel SoFi.
I feel like Arizona is like
it's a Lakers.
I feel like they're somewhat like LA. Like they don't really care that much about football.
It's all transplants.
Not that much.
Have you been out? Have you looked outside today? Sun's out. I'm not gonna go watch these. Gonna go fucking surf and stare at bikinis all day.
Yeah.
Try to meet a movie star.
I like LA in this game.
I like LA as well.
We're consensus LA. Easy. That's an easy one, I think.
Oh, this next one is tough.
This next game, the rematch from 2 years ago. Green Bay at Tampa. I didn't get a chance to check out any of Green Bay's games so far this season, so I can't really tell you other than, just from an outside looking in perspective. I don't know what the vibe of their team is right now. But Tampa Bay's vibe, not very good either. Or not very good from what we've seen. Like Tom Brady is starting to look.
Yeah. 45 years old. Yeah.
And no Mike Evans this week too.
Yeah, no Mike Evans.
No Mike Evans.
Chris Godwin, have they announced?
I think he's still questionable. No Akeem Hicks. But yeah.
But that defense is still baller.
Defense is still nice.
They still have that linebacking core in secondary, yeah.
Yeah, best second.
This one's and I guess from Green Bay's standpoint, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the same level of weapons that he had before.
Yeah, he's got no receivers either,
Yeah. So this could be closer than you think. I mean, it could be a toss-up game. Really. I mean, could be. I don't know. I don't know how to call this one. I'm going to go with my gut says that with everything, all things considered, Tampa is also a hard place to play in, and it's going to be hot as shit there too. And that defense that they have can score. Nice. Their defense can score. So that presents a problem for, Green Bay, which not a big problem because Aaron Rodgers doesn't really turn the ball over that much in the regular season. Woo! Let me find a quarter.
Basically.
Yeah. For me, something with Green Bay seems off, something with Tampa seems off.
Yeah.
But the one thing that you can count on is Tampa's defense. They've only given up 13 points in 2 games. I'm going to give the edge to Tampa just because they're at home, but I would not be surprised if Green Bay wins. They're supposed to be the Super Bowl contender for the NFC, and they better act like it soon, but I give the edge to Tampa.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go
Tampa as well.
I feel like Green Bay. I don't know why, but I feel like their offense is a little more of an advantage, and I think they pull it out at the last moment.
They do have 2 really good running backs.
Yes.
Jones
went all over Chicago. I mean, to be fair, it is Chicago's defense. They cut a lot of pieces, but they look really good, especially in the running game.
Guess we'll see. We'll see on Sunday. Monday night, the traditional Monday night NFC East matchup with a different spin on it this year. Dallas in New York taking on the G-Men. Ooh, look, man, I love to see a redemption arc. And New York is on their redemption arc right now. And I think it begins with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley goes out there, they give him 20, 25 carries, get him a couple of screens mixed in there with it. I think it's New York. I think New York has this. I want to believe New York has this.
Dallas, too, but
it's weird. Dallas actually looks better without Dak Prescott. That's all I can say.
Well, when you put up 3 in the opener, it's hard to look much worse than that. I think the defense, we're gonna lean on the defense. I mean,
you got to lean on the defense if you're Dallas. You got to.
And try to take the air out of the ball as much as possible, make the game really short. Obviously, I'm picking the Cowboys.
I think that's obviously. I think that's actually the formula for New York to win.
But I think they both have to mitigate their quarterback.
Yeah, they have to mitigate the presence of their quarterback, and New York has a better running back than Dallas does.
So we could be looking at a 2.5-hour game here.
Yeah, this could be a fast-moving game. Just keep that clock running, baby. Running clock. But no, I feel like New York is, if New York can get to 3-0, that should be like, this is a huge game for them. If they can get to 3-0, wait, hold on. Oh no, my bad. Yeah, if they can get to 3-0, then that really means that their franchise is changing.
Yeah,
because 3-0 start it means you're in the driver's seat of your division if you're 3-0, and with 2 wins against division opponents.
Yeah, even in this division.
Yeah,
even in this sorry ass division. I mean, it's not as bad as AFC South, where the Jags are number 1, baby, 100 years number 1. But I like New York. What do you got? I know 5. This is all on you, baby.
Parsons
you're gonna
know this game by himself, though.
You're gonna know if the Giants are legit or not based on this game. It is in New York, which is fine. It's Monday night, but for some reason we've been really snake bitten against the Cowboys. Yeah, Cooper Rush is in there, but I'm not confident in the Giants to get this done. They've barely won 2 games against teams that, Tennessee, you saw what happened when Tennessee played a real team and they got smoked, and the Giants, had to pull it out of their ass. So I'm not confident here. I'm going to take the Cowboys to win. I would love, honestly, for the Giants to win, but it just seems like, if the Giants get out to another slow start, and I would love for them to bullshit their way to a win, but I just don't see it happening. I think finally the letdown comes, and it comes in week 3 in prime time.
Evan Neal is watching that Bengals tape, shitting his pants.
Yeah. Thomas has played really well. I don't know about the right side.
Thomas does play well.
You will see, hopefully, Thibodeau make his debut. That's the guy that you went out and spent a first-round draft pick on, but it's going to be tough for the Giants if they can run the ball. Daniel Jones, passing wise, has looked terrible, and Carolina and Tennessee not known pass defenses. You know what I mean? So unless Jones just has a night, but when has he ever had a night? There's no signature Daniel Jones game.
He almost did until he tripped over his own damn feet.
Yeah. And then they ended up losing that game because of Boston fucking Scott. Like, where's the Daniel Jones signature game? And it's been 4 years. I don't have one. Honestly, I can't think of one game.
Ain't no better night than Monday night.
Daniel Jones took over. Have you ever said that? And then Daniel Jones took over.
You guys were saying that in the preseason of his rookie year.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Except for that one game against Tampa, his NFL debut. But this is not. That was a long time ago. So,
oh man,
if he steps up, they can win. But it's Dallas's. It's their game to lose. If you want to knock off the good teams in the league, you got to do it in prime time. But I don't see it.
Well, I think he's saying he don't see it so he can be surprised when they win.
Yeah, that's what he did last week.
No, I just don't have a great vibe about this. Like, if I really feel like, Giants 3-0, baby. Like, they went out and beat Cincinnati with Cooper Rush. Like, after Dak got injured, I was like, yes, we have a shot. But, if they can still win NFL games with Cooper Rush under center, then I think that they can beat the Giants, and I think that they will. I'm not saying I want them to. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking. I'll be all over Twitter.
He's saying that as he has a fucking New York Giants helmet in the background.
Oh, let me show you this badass thing.
That should look clean too. That red boy.
Yeah.
Nah, it's even better than.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hold up.
It looks nice.
You see that right there?
Who signed that?
That's signed by LT right there.
Oh wow.
I met LT. I've met that cat 2 times in Las Vegas.
Which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Beautiful.
He was cool, the drugs.
He was cool. I talked with him for a little bit, hung out in the space we were at for a little bit, but he was cool. And I know,
he probably was cooler with you because you're an ex-NFL player. Like, if he would meet me, he'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. You're a Giants fan. You got any crack?"
All right, so we're split, I guess, on the Cowboys and the Giants game. Those are our predictions for Week 3, you folks. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Real quick before we end this, let's take a quick look at our fantasy league standings.
Do we have to?
Because, and just kind of a note for the audience about the fantasy league. Dave Richard we're going to be doing a video where he's going to give his predictions. So that'll come out in video format by like Friday. I'm going to be meeting with him to do that. He wasn't able to make it on tonight, but he will be back on video. We'll have a recorded video to kind of give his predictions on who you should keep, who you should waive, and all those things as we get ready for Week 3. Now, standings are as follows. In the East, the mighty Bishop Sycamore Phonies have tumbled to the 5th spot of the East rankings with team playoffs at number 1, 2-0. The AC Reapers, who I dusted in Week 1. He's number 1 on the West. NFL's Evil X, number 2. Tighten your game up, 3. NJ, no pun intended, 4. And you see the rest. Everybody's sitting at 1-1 right now, except for our 2 guys here. Team playoffs and 50 Shades of Trey. Obviously, if you've got Lamar Jackson on your fantasy squad, you're probably looking at some pretty healthy points on a weekly basis. But the season continues on this week. We'll see how the matchups play out. I believe that my team will prevail in the end when it's all said and done. The Bishop Sycamore Phonies will reign supreme. Louisville born to win. I don't even know who my matchup is this week. Who is my matchup? Let's see here. Ooh, we got dusted last week, boys.
Yeah, it's already to the point where it doesn't matter who I play. I'm getting.
We got
your quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Louisville born to win. My quarterback's Mahomes.
I had Trey Lance.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm sitting here.
And it's a 20-person league. So
so you ain't making any trades. You ain't make no waiver wire.
Exactly.
Might pick up Cooper Rush.
That's probably the best I could do right now. I could go get Taysom Hill.
I might need to make a move at running back. Move Kareem Hunt into the starting spot over this.
Yeah, Kareem is a beast.
Ooh, no.
But he does get his touchdowns vultured by Nick Chubb. So
there we go. And then let me move. Let me get this cat back over there. Where is he at? He in there. Get your ass back in there. We got to sit that boy because he was out there looking like a fool last week.
Is it too late to switch from a two running back league? I'm trash there too.
Week. Let you get yourself together. Next week we get back on. We love you though. Don't worry about it. You get an extension. All right, folks. So that is going to be it for us here on Lineman Life Live. We do appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate Urinating Tree 5 Point Vids for being in with us today, doing our predictions. You guys are great. Me and JB, as usual, will be back on it next week. So make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. We appreciate y'all. We will see you all on the next one. Peace out, folks.
Push a button.
Peace.